Hi everyone, I thought I'd jump on today and give you a little bit of an update around KDP and also the other things that I've been up to. If you're interested in this, then make sure you stick around. It's been a while since I've done a KDP update, so let's jump straight across onto the computer now and I'll show you exactly how much I've made, because I know that's why you're here. What you're looking at here, everybody, is the lifetime of sales that I've made. So these are all my books. I have 122 there. And from the February 15th, 2023 until April 2025, so just over 2 years, I have made in total $174.38. If I have a look at last year I made $119.34. If I look at this year so far, I've made $16.87. So the leftover from those two amounts would have been things that books that I'd sold prior to that period. So as you can see, things don't look amazing. I'm not making this huge $10,000 a month that you see on other videos. And there are lots of reasons why I haven't improved my KDP sales. One is life, and really making sure that I set aside time to do the creation of the books, because that does take some time. Even though it's always marketed to be very easy, it still takes time, and it's hard to fit that in when you're working full time. The second thing is that many of the books that I have currently on KDP are low content books, so things like blank journals and planners and that kind of thing. The books that I am actually selling are the colouring in books, not so much the journals. I might get one of those sold every now and then. Colouring in books do take time. Number 3 is that when you are independently publishing colouring in books, there is a lot of scrutiny around that. By that I mean that yes, you can go to AI generated programs and you can generate the content for these books, but there's a moral compass here that people are looking into, and that moral compass is really important, because there are artists out there who are genuinely busting their butt to create their own colouring books through their own drawings, and then you have these other ones that are just getting regurgitated. There have also been a couple of videos that have been produced by some of these people. Just thinking Sarah Renee Clark did one, and Mira Byler did one as well. I'll just pop their thumbnails up here, where they were really going in and having a look, and it was really interesting to watch. So if you are thinking about generating colouring in books for KDP, I suggest that you watch these two, because in terms of feedback, I don't think you could get any better. The last colouring in book that I created was called Happy Homestead. I just moved, hopefully the light's okay. The last colouring in book that I did create was called Happy Homestead. Here it is here. And inside this book, I've just generated some very easy images to colour. So this is very, very basic. So in some ways, I was looking at the trend currently where people are creating the cute and cozy kind of books, and I wanted something a little bit different, so I went for Happy Homestead. Now, the images obviously are really quite simple. Now, I'm pretty pleased with this colouring book. I actually thought that I did all right with that in terms of the image choice that you had. So this colouring book, I stuck with the 8.5 by 8.5 inches, which I think is a really good size for a colouring book. And even though I will continue to make 8.5 by 11 books, I actually really like this size. But I also think that at some point in the future, and this is my prediction, those cute, cozy, comfy colouring books that are being sold have absolutely saturated the market. So if you go in and you have a look for colouring books now, they will rank all over the first page. And I just wonder that when you oversaturate something as much as what they have, what the staying power of that is, because as you know, these trends, they come and go, and I just don't know how long this trend is going to last for. I don't think that style of colouring book is going to be sustained forever. I think there'll always be a market, but in terms of popularity, I just don't know how much longer that's going to go for. So let's see, shall we? So I am looking at still creating colouring books. I actually really enjoy making those. But the reason why I haven't uploaded a book since this very last one that I put up is that I'm actually taking the time to draw the images myself. For me, I think that I'm going to have a much better product at the end of the day. When I market it, I can market as a product that has not used AI. And I do think that that is going to be something that is going to appease to a lot of people who are looking for colouring books online. If you look at the ones that are really popular in amongst these cute and cozy ones, they are the colouring books that have been produced by people who are very artistic. So I'm going to get on that bandwagon, even though it might take me a little bit longer. I do have a huge interest in the art and crafts, and this started a long time ago, in fact just over 25 years ago, when my mother-in-law gave me some scrapbooking papers, and she was doing scrapbooking at the time, and I really got taken in to that whole area. And since then I did a little bit of selling items on eBay back in the day. I came down to Hobart. We moved down here in 2007, and I had a little bit of an online business that I had to let go because I had to go to work because we were living on the one income at that point. So I've always been making lots of art and crafts, doing a little bit of selling online, and I believe that I have a lot of skills in that area. Not only that, I am a qualified teacher. I've been teaching 30 years this year. It's hard to think I've spent 30 years in schools. Actually, I've never left school, to be honest. But combined with those two things, the fact that I really love art and crafts and I also have a background in teaching, I believe that I can create some high content books that can be sold through KDP. And it's those high content books that are obviously going to drive up some sales and obviously some income, maybe even a little bit of a side hustle-y semi-retirement. Perhaps, we'll see. So if you're wondering why I haven't been posting a little bit about KDP and side hustles, it's because I've really been focusing on this YouTube channel, which is also another great way to develop a little bit of income on the side. If you have something that you think you can teach to others, then I highly recommend that you start up a channel and you do that, because it can become quite successful. I'm not monetized at this stage, but I am looking forward to actually getting to that point, because then that little bit of extra money I can put back into either the channel or the business, or even just pay for some of the subscriptions that I've been using over the past couple of years. So between working on channel content and just doing general art and crafts and going to work and life in general, there hasn't been a lot of movement on KDP over the last few months, but I am working pretty hard behind the scenes to try and get something up and going. So my goals for this year are to create a couple of colouring books that I have actually drawn myself. The other goal is to create more content on this channel and to get it monetized. And if there's any time in between all of that, I'd really like to start creating some handmade crafts that I can pop up online in an online shop and have a little go at seeing if I can make a bit of income through that as well. I'm sure I'm just making myself more and more stressed out by putting more and more pressure on myself, but let's see how we go. And to end this video today, I want to show you what I did yesterday. I'm not sure, Jeff's been at work and he's going to come home, and I painted the fireplace. And I don't know if I like it. The brown part here, I'm going to paint white, which might bring it back. Oh, and just one other thing before I do actually stop the video. This is not a rocker or whatever, however you pronounce their name. This came from Temu, and it tells the time really well. Can you see that? It's fantastic. You know, I can just see time flying past. The whole thing, really carefully, I'll turn it around, there's nothing there to wind up like they do on the other one. We've got this thing here, which kind of just does bugger all. And this bit here is supposed to somehow tick, but it's not ticking. So, you know that I have, you know that on this channel I have mentioned Temu as being really good. Well, this is the not so good. So I've just popped him up there. I think he's going to become more of an ornament until such time as I can afford to maybe get the good one. So yeah, horrible, horrible. Thanks for sticking around and watching the video today. Thank you for being a subscriber and checking back on the channel. Make sure you're checking out some of the social links that I have in the description below. I have been updating the blog most recently, so I do have some extra information about some of the videos that I put up just in the last couple of weeks. But until next time, happy creating, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks everyone.